uplifting your spirit through the inspired Word of God. This is your daily devotional.
To be like Jesus, Israel pledges to obey God's commandments, and he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people, and they said, "All that the Lord had said will we do, and be obedient." Exodus 24:7. Preparation was now made for the ratification of the covenant according to God's directions. Exodus 24:4-8. Here the people received the conditions of the covenant. They made a solemn covenant with God, typifying the covenant made between God and every believer in Jesus Christ. The conditions were plainly laid before the people. They were not left to misunderstand them. When they were requested to decide whether they would agree to all the conditions given, they unanimously consented to obey every obligation. They had already consented to obey God's commandments. The principles of the law were now particularized that they might know how much was involved in the covenanting to obey the law, and they accepted specific defined particulars of the law. If the Israelites had obeyed God's requirements, they would have been practical Christians. They would have been happy, for they would have been keeping God's way and not following the inclinations of their own natural hearts. Moses did not leave them to misconstrue the words of the Lord or to misapply his requirements. He wrote all the words of the Lord in a book that they might be referred to afterward. In the mount, he had written them as Christ himself dictated them. Bravely did the Israelites speak the words, promising obedience to the Lord. After hearing his covenant read in the audience of the people, they said, "All that the Lord had said will we do and be obedient." Exodus 24:7. Then the people were set apart and sealed to God. A sacrifice was offered to the Lord. A portion of the blood of the sacrifice was sprinkled upon the altar. This signified that the people had consecrated themselves, body, mind, and soul, to God. A portion was sprinkled upon the people. This signified that through the sprinkling blood of Christ, God graciously accepted them as his special treasure. Thus, the Israelite entered into a solemn covenant with God. To be like Jesus, February 7.
As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Thank you all for listening, and please join us once again tomorrow for your daily devotional reading. God bless.